We've got, no, let's move on to Gatsby here. Let's see what you guys said about him. We'll start with Emily. He could have had so much more if he readjusted his life. Well, I agree. What would he be readjusting from? Well, let's cut right to it. Gatsby is a somewhat sick, obsessed stalker. He spends 5 years doing everything he can to get Daisy. Let me tell you this. Whenever I ask you this question, why does Gatsby do? No matter what I say, the answer is for Daisy. Let's try it. Why does Gatsby become a criminal and make a lot of money? For Daisy. Good job, everybody. Why does he buy the house right across the dock, right across the bay from the Buchanans? For Daisy. Why does he get all those awesome shirts? For Daisy. It's a little sick. It's a little unhealthy. It's not good. It's like something a teenage love, right? Oh, Daisy. Oh, Tony, Susie. You become obsessed, monomaniacal. It's very unhealthy. It's not a relationship. It's a smothering obsession. Now, is Gatsby a good guy, bad guy? I don't know. But Daisy to him is a prize that he wants. He has a relationship with her for 5 years. He doesn't talk to her for 5 years. And he is a little stalkerish. He cuts out things from the newspaper about her. He goes out after buying the house right across the bay from her. He goes out and holds his arms out like this. It's a little creepy. Now, I don't want to, stalking is a serious thing, and I don't want to misuse the word, but he is a little stalkerish. He would be a total stalker if Daisy said, "Get away from me, leave me alone." But she never does that. She never does do that. So, very good. I think he does need to readjust his life. And I can't tell you, every time I read this book, I want to kick him in the shins and say, dude, women are like buses. There's always another one coming. Move on. Men are like buses too. There's always another one coming. Jay Gatsby seems misunderstood. Ashley, I like that a lot. Poor guy. Interesting, Vincent. Maybe a little ironic. He used to be poor but became wealthy by doing illegal things. Important. Thank you, Haley, for pointing that out. He's the definition of a simp. Very good, Matt. I wish you were here to tell us what you mean by simp, although I think I know. Gatsby is Gatsby's very naive. He meets Daisy when he's in his military uniform. Otherwise, a poor guy like him would never meet a rich girl like Daisy, but she dances with him at the military dances in her town. And I guess they fall in love. And he then devotes his life to trying to get her. He goes to war. She ends up doing what she was raised to do, marries a rich guy. And Gatsby comes back and he thinks in his simple little mind, if love was only this simple, hey, all I need is money. She married Tom because he has money. If I get money, then she'll be with me. Yeah, that's how relationships work. But truth be told, it's not about money, people. It's about whether you were born with money or not. Daisy was raised to marry an old money family, a family that's had money for generations. That's what she does. It would have been extraordinary for her to turn from that. All right, but we're not talking about her. We're talking about Gatsby. All right, Gatsby's a little bit of an oxymoron. Gatsby is what I like to call a genuine fake. Everything about him's fake. His name's fake. His name is James Gatz. He goes by Jay Gatsby. He has parties. Why? For Daisy. Very good, everybody. He has these parties only hoping Daisy comes walking in some night and he can say, huh, you live around here? When in fact he bought the house right across the bay from her. So the dance, the car, the money, the glitz, the glamour, it's all an act, right? He's a phony. But he's doing it for genuine reasons, for his love for Daisy. This is one of the great contradictions in this book. Gatsby's a genuine phony, a real fake. He does fake things for one pure reason, for Daisy. Just like this book is like, yeah, the American dream. Get the good-looking person and money. Oh, you can't have that unless you're born that way. Well, there's a contradiction there. This story makes the American dream, even if you get it, pretty bad. I don't want to be Daisy or Tom. I don't want to be rich and live the miserable lives that they lead. Daisy's bored all the time. She's so rich. She's got a nanny for the kids, servants. She's bored. She has nothing to do. Anyway, so Jay Gatsby, a real contradiction, a genuine fake. I do think he has a good heart in there somewhere. The great symbol for Gatsby is the mirror and comb set in his bedroom with his initials on it, and it says that, and Nick tells us that they were made of pure, dull gold. And that's Gatsby. He's pure. He just wants Daisy. He's got a heart of gold, and he is dull. You ever have a friend, I'm sure this wouldn't happen to you, but they fall in love and they become unbelievably boring. All they think about and talk about is that other person. It's really bad. Fortunately, it only lasts a few months and love goes away. But yeah, that's Gatsby. Okay, so Tom Buchanan, and it's getting a little late in the day here, so I better watch my language. I'm get a little loose-lipped here. Okay, so Tom Buchanan. Let's start with this bad stuff. He is so annoying. Thanks, Emily. I don't think Tom's a good character. He's a racist and very uptight about everything since he's wealthy. Right to it, Molly. Tom Buchanan is rich, narcissistic, cocky, hypocrite, and a bully. Yep, Daisy's husband, and a horrible one at that. Racist and sexist. Very good, Paige. You guys tell it like it is. I can always count on you all for that. Ashley, Tom seems to be reckless and easy to judge others. Exactly. Haley, Tom thinks he's better than everyone else because he has money. I do not like his character. He's a bully. Well put and very true, and those are bad things. Tom's a big bully, not a good man, born into wealth, exudes traits that suggest he believes that only a select few are entitled to wealth just because they're born with it. He's as dumb as a post. That guy couldn't earn $1 if he needed it. And Matt Campbell, Tom seems to be the most unstable. He's physically hulking, racist, sexist, doesn't have any control over his own emotions. He's like a child. He's also treated like a villain, and Gatsby and Daisy are the ones who are antagonizing him throughout. Well, he's got his own series of affairs. None of these folks are really too admirable. He's an old money type man. So yeah, Tom is really the epitome of what Fitzgerald's criticizing here about rich people. He's not smart. He's even a little paranoid. He's reading a book called The Rise of the Colored Empires, like somehow African Americans are going to get his money. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's big. He's actually a little maybe kind of slow moving but strong, simple-minded. There's a great line in the book where when Tom realizes Daisy's having an affair, that little 20-watt light bulb goes off over his head. And Nick says, there's no confusion like the confusion of a simple mind. He just can't hardly conceive of it. The saddest thing about Tom, he wins. Tom's rich at the beginning. He has Daisy. He's having affairs. At the end of the book, they're heading off to another city. He's rich. He has Daisy. He's going to have more affairs. It's a dark book, people. It's a very dark book. A guy like Tom just keeps on being Tom. I disagree a little bit, Matt, that he's very stable. It's easy to be stable when you're born with a lot of money, like Tom is. His name, Tom, he's always tomcatting around. He really is an unlikable character, and I hope I never meet anybody quite like Tom. The other person who epitomizes the rich people is Jordan Baker. She's named after two cars. Oh, we haven't talked about cars much yet. A Jordan and a Baker, they were two types of cars from the time period. Let's see. Vincent, Jordan intentionally distances herself from what's happening through lies and deceit. Yep, she's a liar. She cheats at golf. She's sly. She's dishonest. And I think most importantly, she's careless. Now, there's a big thing about cars in this book. Tom has a car accident when he's on his honeymoon with Daisy. He has a chambermaid in the car. I don't think he was just giving her a ride home. Daisy drives over Myrtle in a car. Gatsby has a very yellow, large, flashy car, because to him that means wealth. Jordan is named after two cars, a Jordan and a Baker. Cars epitomize rich people, power over poor. Jordan tells us once she was driving through a construction zone. I think of this every time I drive through a construction zone. She drove so close to a construction worker, it flicked the fender of her car, flicked the button off his vest. And she says about her driving, I'll let other people be careful. That epitomizes Fitzgerald's criticism of the rich. We're rich, we're important, everyone else will be careful. Make way for us. We're going to go about our lives doing whatever we want. Everyone else has to revolve around us. They're careless, and it's a very, very bad trait. Very, very bad trait. So Jordan, really an epitome of them. And we already talked about Myrtle. I forgot to put her on the board here. Poor Myrtle. I feel a little guilty about that. But one of my favorite sort of side characters is Owl Eyes. And the symbolism of owl, of course, is wisdom, right? If you want to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, who do you go see? You go see the owl. Potato chips, right? Wise potato chips, their symbol is the owl. So Owl Eyes in this story is wise. He has those thick glasses, so you can very much count on him to see things clearly. And let's see what some of you wrote here. Yeah, he's the one who says Gatsby's the real thing. He's the one who says Gatsby is, he's the only one who goes to the funeral. At the funeral he says the poor son of a bitch. But Owl Eye sees Gatsby as genuine, really as the genuine phony. And he can't believe he's the only party goer who shows up at the funeral. So he is a little mysterious, but he is the one who sort of sees a genuineness in Gatsby. Maybe he and Nick are the only ones in the book. And of course, maybe Gatsby's dad. We'll try to work him in a little bit later. But yeah, Owl Eyes goes to the funeral, and he's the only party goer, really the only party goer there, and he can't believe it. Me? I think it's perfectly legit. Why did Gatsby have the parties? For Daisy. Exactly. He didn't care about the people. He didn't even mingle with the people at his parties. He was using them, hoping Daisy would get swept in with them some night. Were they using him for his food, drink, and music? Of course they were. This is what we call, biology lesson, a symbiotic relationship. So there's our introduction to the characters in The Great Gatsby. So enjoy those videos, this video, and I will work on some more videos about your discussions and wrap up the themes of the book, hopefully in a day or so. So take care of yourselves. Miss you guys. Hope you're following along. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you around.